Immigrant Maid fell for a billionaire, slept with his son. Now she's pregnant. Who's the father? Watch what happens next. The first time Elena walked into the mansion, she felt like a stranger in another world. The ceilings soared high above her, crystal chandeliers glittering like stars she could never reach. She was just 23, an immigrant girl with nothing but hope and a worn-out suitcase. "Don't be nervous," Mr. Carter, the billionaire, had said with a quiet smile when they first met. "I believe in giving people chances. You remind me of someone I used to know. There's trust in your eyes." His voice carried a weight, tired, bruised. Everyone in town whispered about his divorce, about the wife who betrayed him. Elena didn't dare ask, but she could see it in the way he moved, slow, careful, like a man piecing himself back together. Over weeks, something unspoken grew between them. They found each other in silences, in stolen glances, in nights when loneliness felt too heavy to carry. Until one night, it broke. "Elena," he whispered in the dark, his hand brushing against hers. "I don't know how to do this, but I don't want to let go." That night, they crossed the line. For the first time in years, he let someone in. For the first time in her life, she felt wanted. But happiness is fragile. The next morning, the front door slammed open. A familiar voice, sharp, desperate, echoed through the halls. "Michael." A woman's cry. His ex-wife. Elena stood frozen at the top of the stairs as she watched him rush forward. He wrapped his arms around his ex, holding her like the past hadn't torn him apart. "I thought I lost you forever," he said, his voice breaking. Elena's chest tightened. Just hours ago, she had been in his arms. And now, she was invisible again. She couldn't breathe. She couldn't stay. By nightfall, Elena was gone, hiding in her friend Mariah's small apartment on the other side of town. She cried until her body ached, then drowned her pain in neon lights and pounding music at clubs. "Girl, forget him," Mariah shouted over the bass one night, dragging her to the dance floor. "He's not worth your tears. Live a little." That's when she met him. The stranger was tall, confident, with a crooked smile that felt like danger and safety all at once. They talked for hours, laughter spilling like secrets. He never told her who he was. She never asked. One drink led to another. One kiss led to a night she swore she'd forget. She didn't know he was Ryan Carter, the billionaire's only son. A month later, the world shifted again. Michael Carter showed up at her door, his voice raw with regret. "Elena, I made a mistake. I don't want her. I want you. Only you." Tears welled in her eyes. She should have been happy. But instead, she whispered, "Michael, I'm pregnant." The room spun. And then, the cruelest truth of all unraveled. Ryan, the man she'd spent that reckless night with, was Michael's son. Now, two men, father and son, were in love with her. Both reaching for her heart. Both fighting for her future. And in her womb, a life she couldn't place. Her hands shook as she stared at them, torn between past and present, guilt and desire, love and betrayal. "Whose child is it?" Michael asked, his eyes full of fear. Elena could only whisper the truth. I don't know." The silence after Elena's confession was unbearable. Michael's jaw clenched, his hands trembling as he tried to process the words. Ryan, who had followed him there, stepped forward, his voice low but steady. "Elena, that night, we didn't know who each other was, but I can't pretend it didn't mean something." Michael's eyes snapped to his son, anger flashing. "You!" His voice cracked, half disbelief, half betrayal. "Ryan, tell me this is some sick joke." Ryan didn't flinch. "It's not a joke, Dad. I didn't know she was with you. And you didn't tell me about her either." Elena pressed her back against the wall, feeling small, cornered. Her heart pounded, so loud she thought they could hear it. "Stop," she whispered. Then louder, "Please stop. This isn't just about either of you. There's a baby. My baby." Her words shattered the tension, but only for a second. Michael turned to her, his voice soft, broken. "Elena, I don't care whose child it is. I love you. I want to build a life with you. I made a mistake letting her back in, but I'll never make that mistake again. Choose me." Ryan's chest rose and fell, his eyes burning with something Elena had never seen before, determination. "I can't walk away, Elena. I don't care if my dad's in love with you. I felt something real with you that night. And maybe it was just one night, but I haven't stopped thinking about you since. Choose me." Tears slid down Elena's cheeks. The room spun between them, father and son, two men bound by blood yet torn apart by love. She wanted to scream. She wanted to run. She wanted to disappear. Instead, she whispered to herself, barely audible, "God, what am I supposed to do?" The night pressed in heavy around them, and for the first time, Elena realized that no matter who she chose, a family would be broken. And the truth about the baby, still hid in the dark. The following days were a blur. Elena stayed in her small apartment, curtains drawn, phone buzzing with calls she couldn't answer. Michael had left flowers at her doorstep. Ryan had left a note written in messy handwriting, "I don't regret us. I can't." Her best friend Mariah sat on the couch, arms crossed, watching her pace. "Girl, you gotta make a decision," Mariah said, shaking her head. "You can't keep hiding. These are two grown men fighting over you, two rich grown men, by the way, and you're here eating cold pizza like your life ain't about to explode." Elena sank onto the couch, clutching her belly, without thinking. "It's not just about me anymore," she said softly. "What if the baby grows up and asks who the father is? What am I supposed to say? It might be your dad or your brother?" Mariah winced. "Damn. When you put like that," she leaned forward. "Listen, you need answers. A test. Something. 'Cause right now, both of them ain't letting go." That evening, a knock shook the door. Elena's stomach dropped when she opened it and found Michael standing there, rain dripping from his coat. His eyes softened when he saw her. "Elena," he said, almost a whisper. "I can't sleep. I can't think. Please, just let me in. Let me explain." Before she could respond, another voice cut through the hallway. "Funny," Ryan said, stepping out of the shadows. "I was about to say the same thing." Her knees almost gave out, both of them at her door. Michael's eyes narrowed at his son. "You followed me." Ryan's jaw tightened. "No, I came for her. Not everything is about you, Dad." "Elena," Michael turned back to her, desperate. "I love you. I want a family with you, with this child. I can give you stability. A real loma." Ryan stepped closer, his voice raw. "And I can give you love without the baggage of the past. With me, you wouldn't just be the girl who came after a divorce. You'd be the only one." Elena's heart raced. Their voices overlapped, their eyes begging her to choose. She raised her hands, tears in her eyes. "Stop. Just stop." They froze. Her voice cracked as she spoke. "You're tearing me apart. Both of you. I can't even breathe when you're in the same room. And you want me to choose? How can I choose when I don't even know whose child this is?" Her words cut like glass. Michael's face fell. Ryan looked away. Silence. Heavy. Finally, Michael whispered, "Then we'll find out. Together." And for the first time, all three of them understood the truth was coming, whether they were ready or not. The room felt like it was shrinking, the air heavy with everything unsaid. Elena stood still, hands pressed against her belly, caught between the two men. Michael's eyes were locked on her, but Ryan finally broke the silence. "Dad," Ryan said sharply, "you keep talking about how much you love her, but do you even know what love means?" Michael's brows furrowed. "What are you talking about? Don't do this now." "No," Ryan stepped forward, his voice shaking with anger and years of bottled pain. "We're doing this now. Because for as long as I can remember, you never put anyone first. Not me. Not Mom. Not even yourself. It was always business, work, meetings, power. Everything else came before us." Michael stiffened. "That's not fair." "It is fair." Ryan's voice cracked. "You think Mom just cheated because she didn't care about you? No. She found care somewhere else, Dad. She found it because you weren't there to give it to her. You ruined our perfect family because you put your empire before us." Michael's jaw tightened, the weight of his son's words cutting deep. Elena looked at him, seeing not the billionaire, but a man stripped bare. Ryan's voice softened, but it hit harder than the anger. "If Elena chooses you, are you really willing to put someone else before yourself? Or is she just going to end up like Mom, lonely, watching you chase money while she withers away?" The silence after that was unbearable. Michael's chest rose and fell, but he had no answer. Ryan took a shaky breath, turning to Elena, then back to his father. "Dad, you took Mom from me, and I had to live with that. But if Elena chooses you, I'll respect it. I'll step back. All I want, all I need, is for you to promise me something." Michael swallowed hard, his voice almost breaking. "What?" "Promise me you'll put her first," Ryan said, his eyes wet with unshed tears. "Promise me you won't destroy her the way you destroyed Mom. Because I swear, if she chooses you and you break her, I'll never forgive you." Elena's hand trembled against her chest. She had never seen two men, father and son, so raw, so torn. And now, the choice weighed heavier than ever. Michael stood still, his throat tightening. He had spent years commanding boardrooms, silencing competitors with just a look. But in front of his son, his only son, he had no defense. His voice cracked when he finally spoke. "You think I don't know that, Ryan? You think I don't live with it every damn day?" Ryan blinked, taken aback. Michael pressed a hand to his forehead, shaking. "I wake up every morning, and I remember your mother's face when she walked out. I remember you looking at me like I was a stranger. I lost everything because I didn't know how to stop. Because I thought giving you both a life of wealth was enough, and it wasn't." His voice grew quiet, a roar. "I was selfish. I thought I was building a future for my family, but really, I was building a cage. And when your mom broke out of it, I hated her for it. But deep down, I hated myself more." Elena's chest tightened. This wasn't the man in the news headlines, the billionaire with the perfect smile. This was Michael stripped bare, a man begging for forgiveness, without the words. Ryan's voice softened, but he didn't look away. "Then why should Elena believe you'll be any different?" Michael turned to Elena then, his eyes glistening, his voice trembling like it hadn't in years. "Because I can't lose her too. Elena, if you give me the chance, I will put you first. I swear on everything I have, everything I've built, it all means nothing if I don't have you. No deals, no company, no boardroom will ever come before you. I've made that mistake once. I won't make it again." The room fell silent. Rain tapped against the window like a heartbeat. Elena's hands trembled, her chest aching with the weight of two futures colliding in front of her. Ryan looked at her, his voice softer now, almost broken. "And if you can't believe him, Elena, you know I will. I don't have the scars he does. I don't have the empire to protect. All I have is my heart, and it's yours if you want it." Elena closed her eyes. She had never felt so wanted, so torn, so terrified. Inside her, the baby shifted, a quiet reminder that soon, she wouldn't just be choosing for herself. Elena stood there, trembling, her back pressed against the wall, as if it were the only thing holding her up. Michael's eyes begged her to speak. Ryan's chest rose and fell with anxious breath. Finally, she wiped her tears and let the words spill out. "Ryan," she whispered, her voice soft but firm. "That night with you, it changed me. You reminded me that I could laugh, that I could feel alive again when I thought all I had left was pain. You'll never know how much that meant to me." Ryan's jaw clenched, his eyes softening. "But Michael," she turned toward him now, her voice breaking. "From the very first day I stepped into that mansion, when you looked at me and gave me a chance, I loved you. I didn't even understand it then, but deep down, all I ever wanted was to be by your side. Because I saw your heart. Broken, scarred, but real." Her hands shook as she pressed them over her stomach. "And that's the man I fell in love with." Michael's lips parted, his breath trembling. For the first time in years, he looked vulnerable, almost boyish in his shock. Ryan turned away, his fists curling. His voice was low, bitter. "So it's always been him?" "No," Elena said quickly, stepping forward. "It's not that simple. Ryan, you're special too. You're selfish in your own way, but there's something in you that makes people feel seen, even if only for a night. That night with you wasn't a mistake. It was something I'll never forget." Her voice cracked, tears rolling freely now. "But I can't stay here. Not between you two. Not in this war that's tearing you apart. I won't let this child be born into a battlefield." Ryan's head snapped toward her. "What are you saying?" Michael's chest rose sharply, dread filling his eyes. "Elena, don't." She shook her head, stepping back toward the door. "I'm leaving. I don't know where yet, but far. Far enough that neither of you can find me. I need peace, for me, for this baby. And no matter the outcome, no matter who the father is," she swallowed hard, her gaze locking on Michael's, "I will always love you. Always." The billionaire staggered back a step, as though her words had both healed and destroyed him all at once. Ryan's face crumpled in disbelief, anger mixing with heartbreak. "So that's it. You walk away and leave us both bleeding." Elena wiped her tears, her voice trembling but certain. "Yes, because staying will kill us all." She pulled the door open. Rain blew inside, cold against her skin. She gave one last look at the man she had always loved and at the son who had changed her life in one reckless night before stepping into the storm. "Don't look for me," she whispered. And then she was gone.